Hi there, you're welcome back to class. And today we have a masterclass on professional email writing for beginners and professionals. Today we are going to learn how to write emails like a pro that you are. Please get ready your book, your pen, because it's about to go down. So, what is email writing? Today, in our present world, email remains one of the most vital forms of communication in academic settings, professional settings, and in all sorts of settings. People send emails to their family members, people send emails to their friends, people send emails based on the professional work, etc. So, but we need to know that for email writing, there are some things you need to put in place. There's some pros and cons. If you want to write it properly, if you want to write it professionally, there's some things you need to do because unlike casual chats or text messages, emails must have three things. It must be clearly written, it must be respectfully written, and it must be purposefully written. Okay, so mastering the art of professional email writing will enhance your communication skills and also improve your credibility, your efficiency, and relationships. At the end of the day, when you are able to write a polished and professional email, you are regarded to as someone who is professional, who has a critical skill of email writing. In everywhere you find yourself, in everything you do, your career, your school, your workplace, in everything you do at large, email writing is key and it must be taken seriously. What are the key functions of email communication? We all have different reasons for writing emails, but what I want to chip in right now is that before you write your email, before you write a mail, you have a reason, you have a purpose for it. And your purpose will be created to facilitate your functions, the functions of your email writing. In other words, your purpose for writing your email will also serve as the function you want the email to achieve. For example, let's say you're writing a mail because you want to share information for a birthday party. So, what is the function of that email? Your purpose is that you want to write a mail to share with someone that you're inviting them for your birthday party. The function is invitation for a party. So, for the purpose of emails and functions are quite intertwined. But then here are some other functions of email writing, which is sharing important information, just as I've mentioned, making formal requests, sending documents or file, scheduling or confirming appointments, and following up on previous conversation. That is it. But we're going to the major part of the class, which is how do you write emails like a professional that you are. This class is for beginners and advanced that I like. So don't look down on the class that I know how to write emails already. You may not tell, you might be able to learn one or two things from the class, and I will try as much as possible not to exceed the 20 minutes mark I've given myself, or 25 minutes at most. So, how can you write emails professionally? The first is you have to take notes and understand these terms: Gmail, email, and mail. As shown on the screen, email, which means electronic mail, is a broad term that refers to electronic messages we send over a network, typically the internet. When you send out various messages you receive through your mail, through your email service provider, you're doing what? You're sending an email. Gmail, on the other hand, is a specific email service provided by Google. What do I mean by that? When you're talking about Gmail, you are referring to an email service provider. We have others like Outlook, Yahoo Mail, etc. So Gmail is basically an app, or let me just say a specific email service provider. So there are other types. If you don't want to use Gmail, you can use Outlook, you can use Yahoo, etc. While mail, on the other hand, is quite generic. It can refer to both physical mails, like letters, packages, central postal services, or an electronic mail. So when you say mail, it can either be referring to a physical package or your email. But then, in this context of electronic communication, mail refers to any email service, including Gmail, and it's quite used interchangeably. For example, you can say, "Help me to open my mail." You are referring to "Help me to open my Gmail." You are referring to "Help me to open my email that was sent to me." So, mail in this context can be used for both email service provider or email itself. I hope you got that. So that is the clarification. The next is you have to understand the email interface. You have to understand the surface feature. Before writing a mail, you have to understand the surface layout, the interface of your email, because this will affect how your mail is being sent, received, and perceived. And it is quite crucial. On the screen, some you can see the interface I shared from Gmail. You can see the from, the to, the CC, the BCC, the subject, the composed image, and some icons on the upper right hand side. So it is crucial for you. I'm saying that you should understand what these things stand for so that you will be able to create the mail that projects the function or the message you want to give. So that it will even be easier for you to quickly write your mail and do it and leave. Some people struggle with email writing because they want to attach a file. They don't even know how to go about that. I'm going to teach you everything this instant. So the first is the tool. The tool is the primary recipient of the email. When you're writing a mail to someone directly, you make use of the tool. I'll scroll back to it again. You can see too the person you're sending it to is the person you're sending the email to. So it is the primary recipient of the email, and you have to enter the email address of the person you're directly writing to. When you're writing to, let's assume I give you an assignment, you're writing to me at samantalazarus at gmail.com or something. You are to write to me directly. You have to make use of the tool. Put my email, right, insert my email on the tool in the tool part. For the CC, the carbon copy. Now let's assume you're writing me an email, but you want to send another copy to someone else, to your friend, and you don't want me to know that you're sending to your friend, or you want to send it to yourself to confirm if I've received that mail. This is when carbon copy comes in. You use it to send a copy of the email to other recipients who needs to be aware of the conversation but are not the main recipients. So to me, when you're sending the mail to me, like the major recipient, you're also imputing other people's email. I'm just saying this. I'm not saying you should do this at all times, but then if you want to confirm whether your recipient will receive your mail, you can impute their email or inside the CC, the carbon copy, or you want to send it to another person who is not the major recipient. That is when you use CC. For BCC, we call it the blind carbon copy. It allows you to send an email to someone without the other recipient knowing, and it's useful for maintaining privacy in mass emails. There's a big difference between CC and BCC. For CC, the person receiving it might see it. Most of the time, your recipient will see it. But for the BCC, all your recipient would never see it. Okay, you're sending a mail to someone, you're sending a mail to 100 people, and you don't want us to know your mail. You're sending it to five people, you're sending it like 10 people, you're sending it like to like 100 people, but you don't want us all to know that we are receiving the mail at once. And you don't want us to have access to the Gmail addresses of the people involved. Then you can use BCC. When you send with BCC, even if you are sending to 100 people, the people receiving it would never know. They would never see the email address of others. They will only see that they received it. So this is how great it is. So if you're sending to people, exposing their addresses, no, this is for you. Just go over to blind carbon copy and impute the mail. The next is the subject line. It is a short, clear statement that tells the readers the main purpose of the mail. It helps the recipient to prioritize your email. If you write a mail without a subject line, trust me, you're confusing your readers. What does subject line does? Why is it important for you to add to your mail? The person you're sending a mail to, in fact, everybody has so many mails sitting pretty in their inbox, and you want them to prioritize yours. Probably you asked for something important and you want your recipient to prioritize yours. How can you do that? It is through your subject line. Before your recipient reads your main email, before they read the body of your email, they already have access to the subject line. They already know what the mail is all about. Let's assume you wrote a mail, permission to be absent from class, but you removed the subject line. In fact, your recipient might think you are a scammer. Good. Because it is happening almost everywhere. These days, people get scammed, people's accounts, phones, and everything are being compromised by scammers when they penetrate the when they penetrate through the email. So people these days they don't tend to just open emails anyhow, which is why you need a short and precise, clear subject line. When you have your subject line, your recipient, when he or she comes across it, he knows already, oh, this is what this mail is about. This is what this mail is about. And the person will be prompted to go through your email. So please take note of that. When you're writing an email, you must have a subject line. You must have a subject line. Let me show you again where the subject line is on the you can see it. Subject. Yeah, you must have a subject line so that your email would not be categorized as spams. Even mails, the Gmail, Yahoo Mail, and others, the service providers can categorize your email as spam, and your recipient may not receive it earlier because of the way you wrote it without a subject line. So please prioritize that. Make sure you always write your subject line. And if you want to attach a file, maybe an email, you want to attach a file to an email, you want to attach PDF, document, images, you can go to this place. Yeah. Can you see three dots in the upper part? The three dots in the upper part. The first icon is the attachment. So click on it to send your attachments, your images, your pictures, and everything. Click on it to send your attachments. The one in the middle is the send button. So when you are sending your email, you just click on this one in the middle. While the three dots gives you other information or other choices to make. But then the first one, looking like curves and all, is your attachment. You want to attach a picture, you want to attach a video, you want to attach a song, you want to attach an ebook, etc. You can make use of that. And at the end of the email, make sure you always sign with your name, your role, your contact information, and every other thing you wish to add. So that is it. The third point, which is the next, is you have to understand the structure of a professional email. You have to understand. A professional email is different from a non-professional email. A professional email follows a clear structure that helps the readers to understand your message easily and respond appropriately. Take note of the word easily and appropriately, because if your reader doesn't understand your message, he or she would be tired and may not be interested in reading through your message. So, because your reader, you have to respect your time. Yeah, that is one of the key things about professionalism. You have to respect the time of your readers. You have to respect the time of your readers. So, which is why it is important for them to understand your message with the way you write it. Let them understand your message easily and respond to your message appropriately. When they can understand your message, it will be easier for them to respond appropriately. So the structure you use ensures your message is complete and cautious. Typical email structure: we have the subject line, which is always short and specific. Request for meeting Monday at 10 o'clock a.m. You can see this. You can see this. Very straightforward. Even before your readers read the message, they know what it is about. Before they read your email, they know what it is about already. Your salutation and greetings must start with something respectful. You can say, "Greetings, comma, dear Dr. Smith," followed by a colon. Okay? Don't start any email for any reason without a subject line, without all these things I'm mentioning. Please, they are important. Then when you go ahead, start with an opening line. This, I hope this message finds you well, has been bastardized, so you can improvise and use others. But make sure you're starting with a polite sentence. Your body paragraph, which is the main message, should be clear. This is where on the interface you see something like compose. This is where you start writing all these things that I've been mentioning. Your body paragraph, which is the main message, should be clear, concise, and divided into short paragraphs if necessary. Yes, do not write your message as a chunk of paragraph. Your message, your email should not just be engulfed in one paragraph. No, it should be hard to read. Break down your messages, break down your email into like 2 to 3 to 4 paragraphs so that it will be neat and it will be easier to read. Trust me, some recipients would not read through all your mails, but they will just read the first letters, the first lines of each paragraph. Now imagine you are conjuncted and conjoined all the paragraphs into one. What will happen? The recipient will just lose interest. So please, when you're writing, break your paragraphs, your email into different paragraphs. Okay, let's say you want to request leave from your professor, from your class manager. The first paragraph can simply be to agree to open, state why you're writing. Then this next paragraph can be to explain why you not be available. The third paragraph can be to tell her that you appreciate her and you're looking forward to her response. Then the last paragraph can be to sign off. And yeah, that is it. So make sure you follow this. Make sure you follow this. Also, your closing line is important. Thank you for your time and assistance. Your sign off is important. Sincerely, best regards, warm wishes, warm regards, etc. And your signature is also important. Include your full name, your position, your phone number, or any relevant details. If you are a student, you can include your full name, your class name, or your level name, your matric number, your phone number, etc. Just make sure that you're following through and you're ending it properly with your contact details so that when the lecturer, your professor wants to reach out to you, probably via call, it will be easier for him or her to do that. So the differences now, let's take a look at the differences between the informal and formal emails. That is the next step you have to take note of. When you're writing your emails, know that the your informal emails should be different from your formal emails. Even without any strict rules, you should know that when it comes to formality, it is for the professional email. When it comes to informality, it is for the normal and conversational email. So informal emails are written to friends and family, and accuracy and grammar, etc., are not important to an extent. That is, you can make up your own rules, contractions are accepted, etc. You can say that can't, didn't, won't, shouldn't. Let's read this email together. There are no strict rules when it comes to informal emails. It can be conversational, you can do as you like. But of course, as someone who is professional, you may not want to do that. But then let's see this. Han, I miss you so much. Can't wait to see you Friday. You can see the two exclamation marks. Nobody will penalize you for that because you're writing for fun simply. We haven't hung out in so long. I miss my bestie. Maybe we can go to the movies or dinner or just chill and watch TV and catch up. I don't care. Whatever you want. Love you. You can see punctuations out of the roof, everything. It's because nobody will penalize you for this. But for the formal emails, you're writing to professor, colleagues, boss, companies, organizations, people you don't know, and you have to always be professional. Do not use contractions, unlike the informal emails where you can write anything as you want. Cannot, I will not write your sentences in full because your emails is professional. You must use accurate grammar, punctuations, and spellings where necessary. For this, you must make use of abbreviated grammar, punctuation, and spelling when necessary. Avoid using abbreviated words like you instead of you, IDC instead of I don't care. You have to make sure that everything you're writing, everything you're saying is straight to the point, everything you're saying is written fully. Your salutation greetings must be followed by a colon mark, not a comma. Your salutation must be followed by a colon mark and not a comma. Okay? And let's read this together. Request for leave. Request for leave. That is a subject line. Request for leave, June 1 to 3. Dear Mr. Johnson, I hope this email finds you well. I'm writing to formally request a leave of absence from June 1st to June 3rd due to a family obligation. During this period, I will ensure that all my responsibilities are covered and I am happy to assist with transition plans if necessary. Thank you for your understanding and support. Please let me know if any further information is required. Best regards, Sarah Ojo, blah, 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 blah. You can see, even after the greetings, dear Mr. Johnson, we have a colon mark. So please, this is a sample that you can follow and make use of. Straightforward and professional. So we have come to the final part of the video, which is how to write more tips on how to write effective emails. I've shared with you so many tips already. I've shared with you so many tips, but this is just the last part, and I hope you find it helpful as well. Number one, think about your message before you write it. Before you write it, I'm not going to explain everything on the screen. You can just pause your video and read through. Okay, you can pause your video and read through because time has gone already. But I hope you're enjoying the class. Please, if you are enjoying the class, drop me a comment. I am enjoying this class. This class is valuable. This class is good. Just give me a sweet comment that can show that you are following through. So think about your message before you write. That is important. Our thoughts has a way of helping us to project ourselves. Our thoughts are beautiful. What I mean is that for everything you write, if your thoughts are well curated, you realize that your end result, or let me just say your result, your end, sorry, that was tautology, your result or your end will be beautiful because you've already processed it in your brain, and your brain has a way of just adapting and moving with everything you are putting inside it. So before you write, jot down some notes, but what information you need to convey. I mean, just have an outline. Yes, before you write a mail, before you even do any form of writing, you need to have an outline. Okay, this is what I'll put in paragraph one. This is what I'll put in paragraph two. This is what I'll put in paragraph three. This is how I'm going to end it. This is how I'm going to do it. When you do this, even subconsciously, you realize that by the time your readers, your recipient is reading it, he or she would know that you put in a lot of thoughts, you put in a lot of time in this. There's a difference between a rushed email and a well curated email, and it can show in the way you start. So before you start, before you write, make sure you have an outline, you think about what you want to write, and you plan accordingly. The next is reflect on the tone of your message. Please, the tone of your message is important. It is important. Avoid using hey, avoid using vulgar words. Make sure you're straight to the point, and you are addressing your readers well. You're communicating properly, because when you're communicating via email, your words are not supported by gestures, voice inflections, or other cues. It is easier to be misunderstood, to be misread through your emails than in the physical word, than in the normal sense of the word. Okay. So when you're writing your emails, make sure that you're writing it in a way that is structured. You're writing it in a way that would project your professionalism, and it will not be easily misunderstood. Number three, the third one is strive for clarity and brevity in your writing. Strive for clarity and brevity in your writing. Please, you don't have to write 50 paragraphs. Just go straight to the point. Just go straight to the point. And these days, ChatGPT is there to even help. Hmm? Let's say you are confused whether you're writing the right thing. You can go to ChatGPT, copy your mail when you are done. For your tone, for your tone and brevity, rate my tone, or just ask ChatGPT, what do you think about my tone? Can you give me 5 words to describe my tone? Is this tone professional enough? What can you say about this tone? I'm not saying you should use ChatGPT to create your emails. No, because when you do, you're not training yourself properly. Days will come where you need to create mails right off that you wouldn't have access to ChatGPT and everything. So just prepare yourself. You can make use of ChatGPT, your friend. You can tell them to read it. You can read it aloud to them, etc. But then, if you don't have access to anybody, you can make use of ChatGPT. Ask ChatGPT, what do you think about this email? Is my tone great? What can you say about my tone? Is this email brief? Ask questions. And when it gives you feedback, don't copy words for word. Take back your email, go and rewrite, then bring it back and ask again. That is how you become good. Regard ChatGPT as a tutor that can help you, okay? Not as your writing tool alone. So strive for clarity and brevity. If you can copy out the notes here, but then you can also listen to my explanations. Briefly state your purpose for writing the email in the very beginning of your message, please. When you do that, you set the tone for your email. Provide readers with context for your message. Context is important. If you're writing a question, make sure that if you're asking a question, make sure that if the question is not from you, or if you are trying to refer to what the person has said before, copy out and quote so that you will not be misunderstood. You can copy out, you can quote, ask questions, and make sure that your context is important. Your context is as important as your tone. If your context is misunderstood, if your context or your tone is being misunderstood, trust me, your email may not be effective. The title is How to Write Effective Emails. So make sure that you are projecting the right context through your words, through your tone, and through everything you're saying. Use paragraphs to separate thoughts. I've said that already. I explained that already. And finally, state the desired outcome or at the end of your email, what you want the person to do, like a call to action. If you are requesting a response, tell the reader, oh, I'm anticipating your response. I need a response. I need a follow up. I need this. I need that. I would just make sure you are giving everything you want to give. You are saying everything you have to say at once, so that your mail will be effective and it will communicate everything you want to communicate. And the recipient won't need to be asking you won't need to be asking you different questions and extraneous questions after you've written your mail. And also format your message so that it is easily read. It is easy to read. Do not just write and conjoin everything. You do not use bold letters too much. Make sure that you're not writing in too much of capital letters. Because when you use capital letters and you bolden your words too much, hmm, your readers may perceive this as shouting. Make sure when you even arrange in paragraphs so well, you may not need to bold in anything. But then for emphasis, bolding some words, but not all the words. Proofread before you hit the send button. You might make mistakes. You might make mistakes. You can make use of spelling or grammar checkers. You can even ask ChatGPT to help you to see if you have any mistakes that you've made from the thing you've written, if you are not accessible to someone who can help you right away. So if you have any questions, please drop them in the comment section. I would be interested in creating videos to respond to your questions sincerely. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. If this class is useful, if this class is helpful, if you enjoyed the lessons, please let me know in the comment section. I really would love to hear from you. Again, I'm Samantha Lazarus, although I didn't introduce myself at the beginning of the video, but I'm Samantha Lazarus and I look forward to seeing you in my next one. Bye and thank you for watching.